What if I told you that some foods can outlive you, your children, and possibly even your grandchildren? While most of us panic when milk expires after a week, Amish communities have quietly mastered food preservation techniques that make modern refrigeration look like a passing fad. These 15 Amish food preservation methods aren't just old-fashioned curiosities. They're survival skills that modern preppers are desperately trying to rediscover. Honey. Imagine opening a 3,000-year-old Egyptian tomb and finding something still perfectly edible inside. That's exactly what archaeologists discovered with honey, a truly immortal food that defies time itself. While most of us struggle to keep leftovers fresh for 3 days, this golden treasure remains unspoiled for millennia. The Amish have long recognized honey's remarkable staying power, making it a cornerstone of their food preservation strategy. Their approach is refreshingly simple. Store raw honey in glass jars with tight-fitting lids, then keep these precious containers in cool, dark places throughout their homes. No fancy equipment or complicated techniques required, just wisdom passed down through generations. One crucial tip the Amish strictly follow might surprise you. Never refrigerate honey. Keeping honey cold actually accelerates crystallization, turning that smooth, pourable gold into a grainy mess. Room temperature storage between 55 to 70 degrees maintains honey's perfect consistency year after year. Of course, crystallization doesn't mean the honey has spoiled. A warm water bath will restore it to its flowing glory. But why create extra work? The secret behind honey's immortality lies in its remarkable natural properties. With an incredibly low moisture content and high acidity, honey creates an environment where bacteria simply cannot survive. Add to that the presence of hydrogen peroxide naturally produced by enzymes in honey, and you've got nature's most perfect preservative. Anyone who's tasted raw honey from an Amish market knows there's simply no comparison to the mass-produced varieties found in plastic bears on supermarket shelves. The difference isn't just in the flavor, though that rich, complex sweetness certainly stands out, but in the quality of preservation. Commercial honey often undergoes ultrafiltration and pasteurization, processes that extend shelf stability but remove many beneficial compounds. Next time you're near an Amish community, stop by a roadside stand and pick up a jar of their honey. It might just be the only food in your pantry that your great-grandchildren could safely enjoy. As one Amish farmer quipped, "We don't worry about expiration dates on honey jars. The jar will break before the honey goes bad." Dried beans? Walk into any Amish pantry and you'll immediately notice the rainbow of dried beans lining the shelves. These humble legumes form the backbone of food security in Amish communities, providing crucial protein and sustenance through long winters and unpredictable times. While the rest of us might stock our emergency kits with freeze-dried meals and energy bars, the Amish have relied on this simple, effective preservation method for centuries. Why did the bean go to the doctor? It was feeling a little dried out, but that's exactly what makes them perfect for long-term storage. Navy beans, with their small white appearance and mild flavor, remain particularly popular among Amish families. These versatile beans disappear into soups and stews, providing hearty nutrition without overwhelming other ingredients. Pinto beans, with their speckled appearance that fades to a uniform pink when cooked, find their way into countless Amish casseroles. Black beans round out the trinity of most stored varieties, adding striking color and robust flavor to winter meals when fresh vegetables become distant memories. The preservation process for beans demonstrates the careful attention to detail that characterizes Amish food storage. Freshly harvested beans undergo thorough drying, often spread on clean sheets under the summer sun until completely moisture-free. The beans then move to glass storage containers, never plastic, which can allow tiny amounts of moisture to penetrate over time. Many Amish families incorporate oxygen absorbers into their bean storage, small packets that remove oxygen from the sealed container and prevent the oxidation that eventually makes beans impossible to soften. With proper drying and storage techniques, beans easily last 30 years or more. An entire generation can grow up eating from the same carefully preserved harvest. An elderly Amish woman shares a clever preparation tip passed down through 5 generations. Add a quarter teaspoon of baking soda to the soaking water for dried beans, and you'll cut the cooking time in half. This simple kitchen chemistry works by creating an alkaline environment that breaks down the bean's cell structure more quickly. When you're cooking with fuel sources like wood or gas that must be carefully conserved, such time-saving methods become invaluable. The nutritional staying power of dried beans makes them particularly valuable in the Amish preservation arsenal. Unlike many preserved foods that lose nutrients over time, properly stored dried beans maintain their impressive protein content, about 15 grams per cup when cooked, for decades. Sauerkraut. The tangy aroma of fermenting cabbage signals the arrival of autumn in Amish country. Large stoneware crocks stand like sentinels in cool, dark corners of cellars, filled with what many might dismiss as simple pickled cabbage. But these vessels contain something far more valuable, a living food that improves with age and delivers remarkable health benefits. Traditional fermentation methods passed down through generations of Amish families turn ordinary cabbage into extraordinary sauerkraut. The magic begins with precision. Exactly 3 tablespoons of salt mixed into 5 pounds of cabbage creates the perfect environment for beneficial bacteria to thrive while harmful microbes perish. This perfect balance comes from centuries of careful observation, not modern measuring tools. Cabbage, shredded paper thin, gets packed tightly into crocks, where salt pulls moisture from the vegetable to create its own brining liquid. An interesting fact about this process: no vinegar is ever added. The sour taste develops naturally as lactobacillus bacteria convert sugars in the cabbage into lactic acid, creating that distinctive tang we associate with properly made sauerkraut. During fermentation, which typically takes 3 to 6 weeks depending on room temperature, these beneficial bacteria multiply dramatically. A single serving of Amish sauerkraut often contains more diverse probiotics than expensive supplements sold in health food stores. These microorganisms support healthy digestion and strengthen the immune system, something Amish families have intuitively understood long before scientific studies confirmed these benefits. Once fermentation completes, the Amish transfer their sauerkraut to sterilized glass jars for long-term storage in cool basements. Unlike commercially produced versions, which undergo pasteurization that kills beneficial bacteria, Amish sauerkraut remains alive with active cultures. These jars can safely stay preserved for over 2 years, with many Amish households reporting that the flavor actually improves during the second year of storage. The cultural importance of sauerkraut in Amish communities extends beyond mere sustenance. Kraut making often becomes a community event where neighbors gather to process large batches together. Children learn the craft by watching elders, absorbing both the practical skills and the values of cooperation and resourcefulness that define the Amish way of life. As modern science catches up to traditional wisdom, researchers have confirmed what the Amish have known through experience. Fermented foods create an internal environment where good health can flourish. The simple combination of cabbage, salt, and thyme produces something far greater than the sum of its parts. Fermented root vegetables. Root cellars throughout Amish country hold colorful treasures that modern supermarkets can't match. Carrots, glowing orange, beets in deep ruby red, and turnips in creamy white fill glass jars with vibrant hues that hint at concentrated nutrition. These vegetables undergo a transformation that preserves not just their calories, but enhances their health benefits through the ancient art of lactofermentation. What happens when a carrot stays underwater for months? It doesn't drown, it becomes delicious. This preservation method keeps root vegetables crisp and flavorful long after fresh ones would have withered away. The salt brine that forms the foundation of this preservation method follows a specific formula. 2 tablespoons of salt dissolved in each quart of water creates the perfect balance. Too little salt allows harmful bacteria to grow. Too much prevents the beneficial fermentation from starting. This simple ratio, carried in the memories of Amish women rather than written in cookbooks, produces consistent results year after year. Unlike modern food preservation that often strips away nutrition, fermentation actually increases the health benefits of these vegetables. The process breaks down cell walls, making minerals more available for absorption by the body. Vitamin levels, particularly B vitamins, increase substantially. One fascinating discovery: fermented beets contain nearly twice the available iron of their fresh counterparts. Temperature plays a crucial role in successful fermentation. Amish families store their fermenting vegetables in areas that maintain temperatures between 32 to 50 degrees. Root cellars dug into hillsides provide this ideal range naturally without electricity. The slight seasonal fluctuations in these storage areas actually contribute to the complex flavor development that mass-produced fermented foods can't duplicate. The Amish preference for lactofermentation connects to their broader philosophy of self-sufficiency. By harnessing natural processes rather than relying on modern technology, they maintain independence from the outside world while producing food that serves their families throughout the year. A quart jar of fermented carrots represents not just sustenance but a statement about their relationship with the land and their community. When bubbles stop rising in the fermentation vessel, typically after 1 to 3 weeks, the vegetables move to cold storage. Unlike canning, which requires precise timing, fermentation follows visual cues that children learn to recognize from an early age. This intuitive approach to food preservation ensures that valuable knowledge passes from one generation to the next without formal instruction. Maple syrup. Sweet amber liquid flows from trees to tables across Amish communities each spring, capturing sunshine in a bottle that never spoils. Real maple syrup stands as one of nature's most remarkable foods, not only delicious, but virtually immortal when properly stored. This natural sweetener holds a special place in Amish kitchens, where families treasure both its flavor and its impressive shelf stability. The preservation of this woodland treasure begins with careful handling during the production process. Amish families heat their syrup to exactly 180 degrees before bottling it in thoroughly sterilized containers. This precise temperature kills any potential spoilage organisms without damaging the delicate flavor compounds that make pure maple syrup so distinctive. The heated syrup then goes immediately into hot containers, creating a vacuum seal as it cools. Did you know it takes 40 gallons of maple sap to produce just 1 gallon of syrup? This remarkable concentration explains why real maple syrup lasts indefinitely. The sugar content is so high that bacteria simply cannot survive in it. The Amish respect this natural bounty by using storage methods that preserve every drop of this precious liquid that represents weeks of labor collecting sap from sugar maple trees. Properly sealed maple syrup gets stored in cool, dark places throughout Amish households. Unlike honey, which should never see the inside of a refrigerator, maple syrup benefits from refrigeration after opening. This simple storage distinction makes all the difference in preserving the quality of these natural sweeteners. Unopened bottles remain perfectly good for decades when kept in a cool pantry away from direct light. The annual maple syrup season brings communities together as Amish families help each other tap trees and tend to evaporators. The sweet steam rising from sugar shacks signals winter's end and spring's arrival, making syrup production as much a celebration as a necessary food preservation activity. Even when maple syrup does eventually develop small amounts of harmless mold on its surface after opening, Amish frugality ensures nothing goes to waste. The syrup simply gets reheated to boiling, skimmed, and used for baking rather than direct consumption. This practical approach to food management extends the useful life of even compromised syrup indefinitely. Eggs. Breakfast tables across America would look very different without eggs, but modern refrigeration has made us forget a simple truth that Amish communities remember well. Eggs can last much longer than most people realize. Through clever preservation techniques, Amish families extend the shelf life of eggs from mere weeks to many months without electricity or modern conveniences. The humble egg comes in its own nearly perfect package with a protective bloom coating that naturally preserves freshness. Amish families avoid washing eggs until just before use, preserving this natural barrier against bacteria. They collect eggs daily and handle them minimally, keeping the protective coating intact. This simple practice alone significantly extends freshness compared to commercially processed eggs that get washed immediately, removing their natural protection. Have you ever wondered why some pickled eggs turn pink? They're not embarrassed. They've just been pickled with beets. This bright color isn't just for show. It also signals that the preservation process is working properly. One of the most popular Amish egg preservation methods transforms ordinary eggs into tangy treats that last for months in the refrigerator. The perfect pickling solution combines 2 cups vinegar, 1 cup water, 2 tablespoons sugar, and 1 tablespoon salt. This acidic bath creates an environment where harmful bacteria cannot survive. effectively preserving the egg indefinitely. The science behind pickled eggs is fascinating. The vinegar's acidity penetrates the eggshell's thousands of tiny pores, effectively curing the egg throughout. This process changes both the texture and flavor, creating a uniquely preserved food that bears little resemblance to its fresh counterpart but offers its own culinary pleasures. For Amish families who raise chickens, seasonal fluctuations in egg production present practical challenges. Hens naturally lay more eggs during spring and summer when daylight hours increase. Traditional preservation methods allow families to enjoy eggs year-round despite these natural cycles. Rather than forcing unnatural production through artificial lighting, they simply preserve the abundance when it occurs naturally. Dehydrated herbs. Bundles of fragrant herbs hang from ceiling beams in Amish kitchens, slowly surrendering their moisture to the air. This ancient preservation technique transforms fresh herbs into potent flavor bombs that last through the long winter months. Unlike modern electric dehydrators that use precise temperature controls, Amish herb drying relies on careful placement and patience. The drying temperature never exceeds 95 degrees, preserving the delicate oils that give herbs their distinctive flavors and medicinal properties. Achieving this perfect temperature without electronic thermostats requires knowledge passed down through generations. Herbs hang in areas with good air circulation, but away from direct sunlight, which would degrade their color and potency. String bundles tied with simple cotton twine create the perfect drying environment. The Amish carefully harvest herbs in the morning after dew has dried, but before the midday sun triggers oil evaporation. This timing maximizes the flavor and healing compounds in each leaf and stem. Plants cut at their peak potency retain more of their beneficial properties through the drying process. Ever tried to crush a dried herb and got nothing but dust? That won't happen with properly dried Amish herbs. They maintain just enough moisture to release aromatic oils when crushed without crumbling into powder. A simple test reveals proper drying. Crush a leaf between your fingers. It should crumble easily while releasing a strong aroma. If the herb bends instead of breaking, it needs more drying time. I heard about an Amish grandfather who could identify every herb in his storage jars blindfolded, just by their smell. Apparently, he once grabbed dried mint instead of basil for his tomato sauce. The family still talks about his toothpaste spaghetti decades later. Dark glass jars provide the perfect home for dried herbs. The Amish add small oxygen absorber packets to these containers, extending shelf life dramatically. Stored in cool, dark places, properly dried herbs maintain potency for 1 to 3 years. Leafy herbs like basil and cilantro last about a year, while hardy rosemary and thyme remain potent for up to 3 years. Herb drying exemplifies the Amish approach to food preservation, working with nature's rhythms rather than against them. By understanding each plant's properties and harvesting at optimal times, they create a pantry that sustains them through the year without electricity or chemical preservatives. These dried herbs connect meals throughout the year to the summer garden's bounty. Pickled vegetables. Cucumber pickles might dominate supermarket shelves, but step into an Amish pantry and discover a rainbow of pickled vegetables that transforms ordinary produce into extraordinary preserved foods. Carrots maintain their bright orange glow, green beans snap with tangy crispness, cauliflower holds its snowy white color, and peppers add vibrant reds and yellows to winter meals months after the garden has frozen. The pickling process transforms perishable summer vegetables into stable foods that last up to 2 years when properly stored. Many Amish families create end-of-garden mixed pickles that capture whatever vegetables remain as the growing season ends. This practical approach prevents waste while creating unique flavor combinations that change slightly from year to year. Making these pickled treasures requires precise timing. Vegetables must be processed within hours of harvesting, when their cellular structure is strongest. This quick transition from garden to jar ensures the vegetables remain crisp even after months in the brine. Pint jars of mixed vegetables process for exactly 10 minutes in a boiling water bath, creating a secure seal while maintaining vegetable texture. A pickle walks into a doctor's office. The doctor says, "I can't see you." The pickle replies, "Why not?" And the doctor says, "Because I'm not supposed to see patients after they've been preserved." The Amish have pioneered creative combinations that commercial producers rarely attempt. Sweet and sour pickled carrots with dill, spicy pickled cauliflower with mustard seeds, or green beans with garlic and pepper flakes create distinctive flavors far beyond basic dill or sweet pickles. These variations add welcome brightness to winter meals when fresh produce is scarce. Pickling brine uses simple ingredients. Vinegar provides acidity that prevents spoilage. Salt enhances flavors while drawing moisture from vegetables, and sugar balances tartness in some recipes. The Amish prefer apple cider vinegar made from their own orchards, creating a sustainable cycle where one preserved food, apple cider vinegar, helps create another, pickled vegetables. Cool, dark storage areas maintain pickle quality for the longest possible time. Unlike fermented foods that continue to develop flavor in storage, pickled vegetables reach their peak after about a month and maintain that quality for many months after. When properly made and stored, these colorful jars bring summer's bounty to the table long after harvest season has ended. Apple butter. The rich aroma of apples and cinnamon drifts across Amish communities each fall as large copper kettles bubble over open fires. Inside these kettles, a transformation happens that turns ordinary apples into a preserve so stable it lasts for years without refrigeration. Apple butter, despite its name, contains no dairy at all, just apples cooked down to a thick, spreadable consistency that captures autumn's essence in a jar. Making apple butter becomes a community event in many Amish settlements. Neighbors gather around a central fire where a copper kettle holds up to 25 gallons of slowly cooking apple pulp. Long-handled wooden paddles stir the mixture constantly to prevent scorching. This continuous stirring creates apple butter's distinctive smooth texture while allowing excess moisture to evaporate. The process often continues for 6 to 8 hours, with families taking turns at the stirring paddle. Higher sugar content and natural acidity explain why apple butter lasts longer than standard jam. As apples cook down, their natural sugars concentrate, creating an environment where bacteria struggle to survive. This concentration gives apple butter its deep brown color and caramelized flavor notes that regular applesauce lacks. The longer cooking time also reduces water content, further improving shelf stability. Why does apple butter last so long? I heard it's because bacteria take one taste and say, "No thanks, I'll come back when you've got something less delicious." The canning process requires precise attention to detail. Each sterilized jar receives hot apple butter with exactly 1/4 inch of headspace at the top. This specific measurement allows for proper expansion during processing without compromising the seal. A water bath for exactly 10 minutes creates a vacuum seal that protects the contents for years to come. Many Amish families add a cinnamon stick to each jar before sealing, allowing subtle spice notes to develop during storage. Unlike many preserved foods that deteriorate in quality over time, apple butter's flavor often improves during the first few months after canning as these spices permeate the preserve. The deep flavors of well-made apple butter transform ordinary toast into something extraordinary, bringing summer sunshine to dark winter mornings. The practical wisdom behind apple butter exemplifies Amish resourcefulness, creating something that lasts from ingredients that would otherwise spoil. Fall's apple abundance becomes winter's breakfast staple through a process that wastes nothing and brings community together. Tomatoes. Ruby red jars line cellar shelves throughout Amish country, each containing summer sunshine captured at its peak. Preserved tomatoes form the foundation of winter meals, providing essential vitamins and bright flavor when fresh produce becomes a distant memory. Unlike many vegetables that require pressure canning, tomatoes can be safely processed in a water bath thanks to their natural acidity. Though Amish canners know a crucial safety step many modern recipes overlook, the varieties chosen for canning reveal generations of practical wisdom. Roma and San Marzano tomatoes appear most frequently in Amish canning jars because these meaty varieties contain less water and more flesh than slicing tomatoes. This natural density creates a richer final product without requiring additional cooking time. Some families grow these varieties exclusively for preserving, selecting for traits like thick walls and few seeds over generations. Adding exactly 1 tablespoon of lemon juice to each pint jar ensures safety in water bath canning. This small but critical step increases acidity to levels that prevent botulism growth, addressing the reality that modern tomato varieties often contain less natural acid than heirloom types. Safety never takes a backseat to tradition in Amish canning practices. Proper sealing techniques extend shelf life dramatically. After processing, Amish families remove rings from their canning jars once the lids have sealed. This counterintuitive step prevents false seals, where food trapped between the ring and jar creates the illusion of safety while allowing spoilage underneath. These small details, passed down through generations, prevent food waste and protect family health. A tomato and a bell pepper were sitting next to each other in an Amish canning pantry. The bell pepper says, "Wow, it's really crowded in here." The tomato replies, "Yeah, I'm feeling a bit jarred by the whole situation." Preserved tomatoes serve purposes far beyond basic soups and sauces in Amish kitchens. Winter breakfasts might feature eggs poached in seasoned canned tomatoes. Special occasions call for tomato jam spiced with cinnamon and cloves, a surprising delicacy that pairs beautifully with cheese. Some families even create tomato-based cocktails that bring celebration to winter gatherings when fresh ingredients are scarce. Through simple but precise methods, Amish families transform summer's most prolific crop into versatile ingredients that sustain them through the year. The jars stack neatly on pantry shelves, each representing hours of garden tending, harvesting, and processing that connect seasons in a continuous cycle of plenty. Green beans. The Amish have been growing and preserving green beans for centuries, turning their summer harvest into winter sustenance. These crisp vegetables get sealed into glass jars where they sit patiently in cool cellars, waiting for the snow to fly. What makes green beans so special for long-term storage is their natural ability to hold on to both flavor and nutrients even after decades in storage. When properly canned using traditional water bath methods, green beans can last up to 30 years without losing their essential vitamins. The Amish process involves picking beans at peak freshness, blanching them quickly, then packing them into sterilized jars with just enough salt water to cover. My neighbor's green beans are so old, they remember when horses actually pulled carriages for work instead of giving tourists rides. The sealed environment prevents bacteria from growing while keeping the beans firm and ready for use. During harsh winter months, these jarred green beans become the backbone of countless Amish meals. They get tossed into hearty stews, mixed with potatoes for simple side dishes, or combined with bacon fat for a filling meal. The beauty lies in their versatility and the peace of mind they provide when fresh vegetables are months away from being available again. The preservation process requires careful attention to detail and proper sterilization techniques that have been passed down through generations. Each jar must be heated to exactly the right temperature for the precise amount of time needed to kill harmful bacteria while maintaining the vegetable's nutritional content. The Amish have learned that shortcuts in this process can lead to spoiled food or even dangerous bacterial growth. These preserved green beans retain their bright color and firm texture remarkably well, often looking and tasting fresher than store-bought canned versions even after years of storage. The natural flavors concentrate slightly during preservation, creating a more intense taste that enhances whatever dish they're added to. Families often find themselves preferring their home-preserved beans to fresh ones, especially in hearty winter dishes where the concentrated flavors really shine through. Carrots. Bright orange carrots lined up in mason jars create a rainbow of security in Amish pantries across the country. These root vegetables transform from garden staples into decades-long insurance policies against hunger and uncertainty. The natural sugars in carrots actually help preserve them during the canning process, creating an environment where harmful bacteria simply cannot survive. Amish families typically harvest carrots in late fall when the cool weather has concentrated their sweetness. The carrots get cleaned thoroughly, removing every trace of soil, then cut into uniform pieces that will fit properly in standard canning jars. Carrots are so reliable in storage, they make Swiss watches look inconsistent. The sizing matters because pieces that are too large won't heat through properly during processing, while pieces that are too small turn mushy and unappealing. The preparation involves packing cleaned carrot pieces into sterilized jars with boiling water and a pinch of salt that enhances flavor while contributing to preservation. The high-pressure canning process creates an airtight seal that can preserve carrots for 25 years or more without any refrigeration needed. During this process, the natural cellular structure of the carrots changes slightly, allowing them to maintain their shape while becoming more tender. What sets these preserved carrots apart is their incredible versatility in traditional Amish cooking throughout the year. They add natural sweetness to pot roasts during long Sunday dinners, turning ordinary meals into something special with their concentrated flavors. Winter soups benefit from their bright color and nutritional content, while their firm texture holds up well even after extended cooking times. Surprisingly, these preserved carrots even get used in traditional carrot pies that have been family recipes for generations. The preservation process actually concentrates their natural sugars, making them sweeter and more flavorful than fresh carrots in many applications. Their consistent texture and bright orange color remain intact even after years of storage, making them as appealing to the eye as they are nutritious and delicious for the body. Beets. Deep purple jars of pickled beets glow like jewels on Amish cellar shelves, representing one of nature's most resilient preserved foods. The Amish discovered long ago that beets possess natural compounds that make them nearly indestructible when properly pickled and sealed. These earthy vegetables can survive in their jars for over 20 years while maintaining their distinctive tangy flavor and vibrant color. The traditional Amish method involves boiling fresh beets until tender, which can take anywhere from 30 minutes to over an hour depending on their size and age. Once cooked, the skins slip off easily, revealing the deep purple flesh underneath. The beets then get sliced into uniform pieces before being submerged in a carefully balanced mixture of vinegar, water, and family secret spice blends that vary from household to household. The acidic environment created by the vinegar acts as a natural preservative, preventing spoilage while enhancing the beet's natural earthiness with sharp, tangy notes. This pickling process has been refined through generations, with each family guarding their particular spice combinations and vinegar ratios as closely as they would any valuable recipe. The result is beets that not only last decades, but actually improve in flavor as time passes. Beyond their impressive shelf life, pickled beets serve as an essential side dish during Amish meals throughout the year. Their sharp, acidic bite provides a perfect contrast to rich, fatty meats and helps cut through heavy cream-based dishes. The deep purple color adds visual appeal to otherwise plain winter meals, while their tangy flavor can wake up taste buds that have grown accustomed to the milder flavors of stored foods. These preserved beets also provide important nutritional benefits during long winter months when fresh vegetables are scarce. They're rich in folate, potassium, and natural sugars that provide quick energy, while their fiber content aids digestion of heavier winter foods. Their high vitamin C content, preserved through the pickling process, helps prevent nutritional deficiencies that can develop during months without fresh produce. Cabbage rolls. Complete meals sealed in jars might sound impossible, but the Amish have perfected the art of preserving entire cabbage rolls for decades of storage. These aren't just vegetables sitting in brine, but fully cooked meals with seasoned ground meat, rice, and aromatic spices, all wrapped in tender cabbage leaves and preserved using time-tested methods. Each jar contains enough nutrition to feed a family member a complete, satisfying meal. The process requires careful timing and precise temperature control that takes years to master completely. Fresh cabbage leaves must be blanched until they're pliable, but not overcooked, then stuffed with a mixture of ground meat, partially cooked rice, diced onions, and traditional Amish seasonings that have been family secrets for generations. Cabbage rolls are so well wrapped, they put Christmas presents to shame. After rolling and securing with toothpicks, these little packages get placed carefully in wide-mouthed jars. The filling mixture requires precise balancing because flavors will concentrate and develop during the long preservation process. Too much salt will become overwhelming, while too little will result in bland meals years later. The rice gets partially cooked before stuffing because it will continue cooking during the pressure canning process, and fully cooked rice would turn mushy and unappetizing over time. A flavorful tomato-based sauce covers the cabbage rolls in each jar, providing both moisture for proper heat transfer during processing and additional flavor that complements the meat and rice filling. This sauce often contains herbs like dill, paprika, and bay leaves that infuse the rolls with complex flavors during storage. What makes these preserved cabbage rolls remarkable is their ability to taste fresh and flavorful even after years in storage. The sealed environment allows all the individual flavors to meld together slowly, often creating more complex and satisfying taste than freshly made versions. The convenience factor makes them invaluable during busy harvest seasons when there's no time for elaborate cooking, or during harsh winter months when a hot, filling meal can be ready in minutes. Molasses. Thick, dark molasses flows like liquid gold from Amish pantry shelves, representing one of the most essential and longest-lasting sweeteners in traditional cooking. This natural byproduct of sugar refining contains minerals and nutrients that refined white sugar completely lacks, making it both a sweetener and a health supplement rolled into one sticky, delicious package. When properly sealed in glass containers, molasses maintains its quality and flavor indefinitely. The Amish relationship with molasses dates back to their earliest settlements in America, when refined white sugar was expensive and difficult to obtain in rural areas. They quickly learned that molasses not only sweetened their foods effectively, but also provided essential minerals like iron, calcium, and potassium that helped keep families healthy through long, harsh winters when fresh foods were unavailable. Molasses moves so slowly, it makes government paperwork look speedy. Unlike honey, which can crystallize and become difficult to use, or maple syrup, which can ferment if not properly sealed, molasses maintains its smooth consistency and rich flavor indefinitely when stored properly. Its thick texture and strong flavor mean a little goes a long way, making it economical for large families. In traditional Amish baking, molasses creates the distinctive flavor found in beloved breads, cookies, and cakes that have been passed down through generations. The thick consistency helps create wonderfully moist textures in baked goods while providing that rich, slightly bitter sweetness that balances perfectly with warm spices like cinnamon, ginger, and cloves. During cold winter months, molasses mixed with hot water creates a warming drink that provides both comfort and essential nutrients when fresh fruits and vegetables are months away. This simple beverage delivers quick energy for hard physical work while supplying minerals that prevent nutritional deficiencies. Many Amish families also use molasses as a natural remedy for various ailments, believing its mineral content helps maintain overall health and vitality throughout the challenging winter season. Elderberry syrup. Purple-black elderberry syrup sits quietly in Amish medicine cabinets and pantries, serving double duty as both a natural remedy and a delicious breakfast topping. The Amish have used elderberries for generations, recognizing their immune-boosting properties long before modern science confirmed what traditional knowledge had always known. When combined with sugar and properly preserved, elderberry syrup maintains its potency and flavor for indefinite periods. Traditional Amish preparation involves gathering ripe elderberries in late summer when they're at peak ripeness and highest concentration of beneficial compounds. The berries get simmered slowly with water to extract their deep purple juice, which contains powerful antioxidants and vitamins. The juice must be strained carefully to remove any stems, leaves, or bark, which can be bitter and potentially harmful if consumed in large quantities. The extracted juice gets combined with sugar in carefully measured proportions that create natural preservation while maintaining the berry's beneficial properties. The high sugar content prevents fermentation and bacterial growth while keeping the syrup smooth and pourable. Elderberry syrup is nature's way of making medicine taste like dessert. This preservation method has been refined over generations, with each family developing their own preferred sugar ratios and preparation techniques. Beyond its well-known medicinal value for fighting colds and flu, elderberry syrup transforms ordinary breakfast foods into something special and nutritious. Drizzled generously over pancakes or waffles, stirred into hot oatmeal, or mixed into tea, it provides natural sweetness along with potential health benefits that store-bought syrups simply cannot match. Amish families typically keep multiple jars on hand, knowing that a spoonful of elderberry syrup at the first sign of sniffles might prevent a full-blown illness that could affect the entire household during critical farming seasons. The syrup's pleasant taste makes it easy to give to children, who often ask for it even when they're perfectly healthy, turning preventive medicine into a treat rather than a chore. Onion relish. Sharp, tangy onion relish packed in small jars provides the Amish with decades of flavor enhancement for otherwise simple meals. This carefully crafted condiment combines fresh onions with precise amounts of vinegar, salt, and secret spice blends that vary from family to family, creating complex flavors that develop and improve during long storage periods. The acidic environment prevents harmful bacteria from surviving, while natural onion compounds contribute additional preservation properties. Making proper onion relish requires patience and timing that the Amish have mastered through countless generations of practice. Fresh onions must be sliced uniformly thin, then layered with coarse salt and left to drain overnight. This process removes excess moisture that could dilute flavors or cause spoilage, while the salt begins breaking down cell walls to concentrate the onion's natural pungency. Onion relish lasts so long, it outlives the tear shed making it. After draining, the onions get rinsed thoroughly to remove excess salt, then mixed with vinegar and carefully selected spices before being packed into sterilized jars. The vinegar must be the right acidity level to ensure safe preservation, while spices like mustard seed, celery seed, and turmeric add complexity and visual appeal. A single spoonful of this potent relish can completely transform bland beans, plain bread, or simple meat dishes into something memorable and satisfying. The sharp bite cuts through rich, fatty foods while adding layers of flavor that make simple ingredients sing. During long winter months when fresh vegetables are impossible to obtain, onion relish provides the bright, sharp flavors that keep meals interesting. The concentrated nature of the relish means a small jar can season many meals, making it both economical and space-efficient for storage. Its versatility extends beyond simple seasoning, as it can be mixed into salad dressings, stirred into mayonnaise for sandwich spreads, or combined with other preserved foods to create completely new flavor combinations that prevent food boredom during long storage periods. Canned mushrooms. Earthy mushrooms preserved in their own natural juices bring the essence of forest floors directly into Amish pantries for decades of reliable storage. These fascinating fungi possess natural properties that make them ideal candidates for long-term preservation, while their umami-rich flavor adds incredible depth to countless dishes throughout the year. The Amish have perfected methods for capturing mushrooms at peak freshness and sealing them properly. Fresh mushrooms require careful cleaning to remove all dirt and debris without waterlogging their delicate structure. They get sliced uniformly to ensure even heat penetration during processing, then packed into jars with minimal added liquid. Mushrooms are so good at preserving themselves, they practically pack their own bags for long-term storage. The natural moisture content creates its own preservation liquid during the canning process. This method produces mushrooms that maintain remarkable texture and concentrated flavor even after years in storage. The sealed environment allows their earthy essence to intensify while preventing the loss of nutrients and taste compounds that make mushrooms so valuable in cooking. The natural umami compounds become more concentrated, creating deeper, richer flavors than fresh mushrooms often provide. The versatility of preserved mushrooms makes them invaluable additions to Amish kitchens during winter months when fresh varieties are unavailable. They add rich, earthy notes to gravies and sauces, transforming simple flour and water mixtures into complex, satisfying accompaniments. Their substantial texture provides satisfying bulk to vegetable soups and stews. In casseroles and baked dishes, preserved mushrooms contribute both flavor and nutrition, while stretching more expensive ingredients like meat and cheese. Their concentrated taste means a small amount can flavor an entire dish, making them economical additions that enhance rather than overwhelm other ingredients. The natural glutamates in mushrooms actually enhance the flavors of surrounding foods, making everything taste better and more satisfying. Cherries. Bright red jars of whole cherries preserved in sweet syrup create stunning displays on Amish pantry shelves while providing decades of dessert possibilities. These ruby gems maintain their shape, color, and sweet tart flavor through careful preservation methods that have been refined over generations of practice. Unlike many fruits that lose their texture during canning, cherries actually improve with time as their flavors concentrate. The traditional process involves pitting fresh cherries at peak ripeness, which requires significant time and patience, but prevents the bitter taste that comes from broken pits. The cherries then get packed into jars with a sugar syrup that's precisely calibrated to prevent spoilage without overwhelming the fruit's natural flavor balance. The sugar concentration must be exact to create proper preservation conditions. The sugar draws out excess moisture while creating an environment hostile to bacteria and other microorganisms that cause food spoilage. During processing, the heat treatment softens the cherries slightly while maintaining their structural integrity, resulting in fruit that holds its shape beautifully even after years of storage. The syrup becomes infused with cherry flavor, creating a delicious liquid that's as valuable as the fruit itself. These preserved cherries become the stars of winter desserts when fresh fruit exists only in memory. They transform simple pancakes into special occasion breakfasts, provide perfect filling for traditional pies and cobblers, and can be eaten straight from the jar when someone needs a sweet, satisfying treat that reminds them of summer abundance. The natural antioxidants in cherries remain stable during the preservation process, making them both delicious and nutritious additions to winter diets. Their bright red color adds visual appeal to otherwise plain winter meals, while their concentrated sweetness provides quick energy for hard physical work. Many families find that preserved cherries taste even better than fresh ones, as the flavors develop complexity during storage that fresh fruit cannot match. Plums. Sweet tart plums transform into either whole preserved fruits or thick jam-like sauces that Amish families treasure as their primary winter fruit source. These purple and yellow orbs contain natural acids and sugars that make them exceptionally well-suited for long-term preservation, often lasting 25 years or more when properly processed and sealed. The Amish have developed multiple preservation methods depending on intended use. Whole plums require careful sorting to ensure only perfect specimens make it into the preservation jars. They get packed in light syrup after removing any blemished or overripe fruit that might cause spoilage problems later. The gentle heat treatment during processing softens them slightly while maintaining their shape and concentrated flavor, creating fruit that's ready to eat directly from the jar. Alternatively, overripe or slightly damaged plums that wouldn't store well whole get transformed into thick, intensely flavored sauces by cooking them down with minimal added sugar. This process concentrates their natural flavors while creating smooth, spreadable preserves that work equally well as dessert toppings or accompaniments to savory meats like pork and poultry. The natural pectin content in plums helps thicken sauces without requiring artificial additives or excessive sugar, while their balanced sweet tart flavor profile complements both breakfast foods and dinner entrees beautifully. The pectin also contributes to the gel-like texture that makes plum preserves so satisfying and appealing to eat. During harsh winter months, these preserved plums provide essential vitamins and natural sugars that help maintain energy levels and boost immune systems when fresh produce is completely unavailable. Their bright, intense flavors serve as delicious reminders of summer abundance even during the darkest, coldest days of winter, providing both physical nutrition and psychological comfort when families need both most desperately. Chicken broth. Golden chicken broth made from every scrap and bone represents the Amish philosophy that nothing should ever go to waste in a properly run kitchen. This liquid gold gets extracted through long, slow simmering processes that draw out every bit of nutrition and flavor from chicken bones, necks, backs, and vegetable scraps that might otherwise be discarded carelessly. When properly processed and sealed, this homemade broth maintains its rich flavor and nutritional value for 10 to 15 years. The traditional Amish method involves saving chicken bones, necks, and backs from butchering day, then simmering them slowly with onion peels, carrot tops, celery leaves, and whatever herb stems happen to be available. This careful extraction process, often taking 12 to 24 hours of gentle simmering, creates a broth so rich and gelatinous it becomes firm when cooled to room temperature. Chicken broth is so useful, it makes Swiss Army knives look like one-trick ponies. The concentrated nutrients and natural gelatin make it both incredibly flavorful and remarkably nutritious, providing essential amino acids and minerals that support health during long winters when fresh foods are scarce. The gelatin content also aids digestion and provides building blocks for healthy joints and skin. This preserved broth becomes the essential foundation for countless winter meals, from simple rice dishes that feed large families economically to complex stews and rich gravies that turn ordinary ingredients into satisfying, memorable meals. The concentrated flavor means a little goes a long way, stretching food budgets while adding tremendous taste and nutritional value. The convenience of having high-quality broth readily available cannot be overstated for busy Amish families during demanding seasons. Instead of spending hours making fresh broth for a single meal, they can simply open a jar and have restaurant-quality flavor instantly available. This time, savings becomes crucial during harvest seasons when every minute counts. Yet families still need nutritious, satisfying meals to fuel their hard physical labor. Beef stew. Complete beef stew meals sealed in jars represent the ultimate in Amish convenience food, containing everything needed for a hearty, satisfying dinner in a single, shelf-stable container. These aren't just random vegetables floating in broth, but carefully crafted, fully cooked meals with tender chunks of beef, perfectly sized potatoes, sweet carrots, and flavorful onions, all preserved together using methods that maintain their individual textures and distinct flavors. The key to successful stew preservation lies in meticulous preparation and precise processing times that account for each ingredient's specific requirements. The beef must be browned properly to develop rich, complex flavors that will intensify during storage, while vegetables get blanched to exact doneness levels that prevent them from becoming mushy during the preservation process and long storage periods. Beef stew in jars proves that good things really do come to those who wait, especially if they wait about 20 years. Each component requires different preparation timing to ensure optimal results. Potatoes get partially cooked to prevent them from falling apart, while carrots get cut to specific sizes that will heat through properly during processing without becoming overcooked and unappetizing. The seasonings must be balanced carefully to account for how flavors will develop and concentrate during extended storage periods. Salt levels that taste perfect when fresh might become overpowering after years of storage, while herbs and spices often mellow and blend in ways that create more complex, satisfying flavors than freshly made versions can achieve. These preserved stews become absolute lifesavers during busy harvest seasons when families work from dawn to dusk and have no time for elaborate meal preparation. They're equally valuable during winter storms when families might be snowed in for days and need hearty, filling meals that provide both physical nourishment and psychological comfort during challenging times. Rhubarb. Tart pink rhubarb stalks preserved in sweet syrup create one of nature's most interesting and complex flavor combinations while lasting for decades in proper storage conditions. The Amish have long appreciated rhubarb's unique characteristics, recognizing that its natural acidity makes it nearly impossible for harmful bacteria to survive during the preservation process. This unusual vegetable that gets treated like a fruit provides essential vitamins and minerals. Traditional preservation methods involve cutting fresh rhubarb stalks into uniform pieces that will fit properly in standard canning jars, then packing them carefully with sugar syrup that's sweet enough to balance the natural sourness without completely overwhelming the distinctive tart flavor that makes rhubarb so special and sought after for baking applications. The rhubarb's natural acids work together with the sugar to create an environment that prevents spoilage while maintaining the stalk's firm texture and bright, sharp flavor that makes it so valuable in cooking. Rhubarb is living proof that vegetables can have serious identity issues, spending their whole lives masquerading as fruit in pies and desserts. The preservation process actually concentrates these natural acids, creating more intense flavors. The preserved rhubarb becomes absolutely essential for winter baking projects, providing the necessary tart component in traditional pies, cobblers, and sauces that wake up taste buds dulled by months of eating stored foods with mellower flavors. Its sharp bite cuts through rich, heavy winter foods while adding the acidic balance that makes desserts truly satisfying rather than cloyingly sweet. The high vitamin C content in rhubarb helps prevent scurvy and other serious nutritional deficiencies that can develop during long winters when fresh produce is completely unavailable. This nutritional benefit, combined with its unique flavor profile and excellent storage characteristics, makes preserved rhubarb an invaluable addition to any long-term food storage system designed to maintain both health and morale. Grape juice. Deep purple grape juice pressed from backyard vines and preserved for decades represents liquid tradition in Amish communities scattered across the country. This isn't the artificially flavored grape drink found in grocery stores, but pure, concentrated juice from real grapes that maintains its full flavor and nutritional value for 20 years or more when properly sealed. The natural sugars and acids create perfect preservation conditions. The traditional process begins with crushing perfectly ripe grapes at peak sugar content and extracting their juice through careful pressing and multiple straining steps. The juice gets heated just enough to kill any wild yeasts that might cause unwanted fermentation, then sealed immediately in sterilized jars while still hot. This method preserves the fresh grape flavor while creating the sterile environment needed for long-term storage. Grape juice is so concentrated with tradition, it makes family reunions look casual. The deep purple color and rich, intense flavor make it suitable for both children and adults at any gathering or celebration. The natural fruit sugars provide quick energy during hard physical labor, while the antioxidants and vitamins support overall health throughout challenging seasons. Beyond its obvious value as a refreshing, delicious drink, preserved grape juice serves important ceremonial functions in Amish communities, appearing regularly at weddings, church gatherings, baptisms, and other special occasions throughout the year. Its beautiful color and symbolic significance make it an essential element of community celebrations. Many families also use their carefully stored grape juice as the base for making fresh jellies and jams when the mood strikes or when special occasions call for homemade treats. The concentrated flavors in preserved juice often create better jellies than fresh grapes can produce, as the storage time allows flavors to develop complexity that fresh fruit cannot match. This versatility makes grape juice preservation. Mixed vegetables. Colorful combinations of peas, carrots, green beans, and corn sealed together in single jars provide Amish families with convenient vegetable medleys that save precious time during the busiest seasons of the year. These aren't random vegetables thrown together carelessly, but carefully balanced combinations that cook at similar rates and complement each other both nutritionally and flavor-wise, creating appealing, well-rounded side dishes. Creating successful mixed vegetable preserves requires deep understanding of how different vegetables behave during the high-heat canning process. Each component must be prepared separately to ensure proper texture and doneness, then combined in specific proportions that create appealing colors and balanced flavors that remain stable during years of storage. The timing must account for different densities and cooking requirements. The variety contained in a single jar ensures comprehensive nutrition, while the extended storage life means families always have vegetables available regardless of season, weather conditions, or other circumstances that might affect fresh food availability. Mixed vegetables are like a vegetable variety show, each performer bringing their own special talent to the stage. During winter months, these colorful combinations provide essential vitamins and minerals that prevent nutritional deficiencies. These preserved combinations become the foundation for quick soups that can feed large families economically, convenient side dishes that complement any main course, and hearty stews that turn simple ingredients into satisfying, memorable meals. The convenience factor makes them especially valuable during busy harvest times when every minute counts, but families still need nutritious, appealing meals. The nutritional completeness of mixed vegetables ensures families maintain healthy, balanced diets even when fresh options are completely limited or unavailable. The variety prevents food boredom that can develop when eating stored foods for extended periods, while their bright colors add visual appeal to otherwise plain winter meals that might become monotonous without colorful, attractive accompaniments. Chili. Hearty chili, combining beans, tomatoes, seasoned meat, and carefully balanced spices in ready-to-eat form, represents comfort food preservation at its absolute finest in traditional Amish communities. This isn't just ingredients mixed together randomly, but fully developed chili that's been cooked to perfection before being sealed for decade-long storage. The complex flavors actually improve during storage as spices meld and develop. The traditional Amish chili preservation process involves browning meat carefully to develop rich, deep flavors that will continue intensifying during storage, then combining it with beans that have been partially cooked, tomatoes at peak ripeness, and carefully balanced spice mixtures that have been family secrets for generations. The entire mixture gets simmered until all flavors meld perfectly. The completed chili gets packed hot into sterilized jars and processed using pressure canning methods that ensure complete sterilization while maintaining the complex flavor profiles that make this preserved food so satisfying and delicious. Chili improves with age like fine wine, except it's more filling and doesn't require fancy glasses. The high protein content from beans and meat provides substantial nutrition that sustains hardworking families. These preserved chili meals become invaluable during cold winter months when hearty, warming foods help maintain body heat and energy levels during the most challenging season of the year. Simply heating a jar provides a complete, satisfying meal that requires no additional preparation, ingredients, or lengthy cooking times. The convenience factor cannot be overstated for busy farming families who need substantial, satisfying meals but have limited time for elaborate food preparation during demanding seasons. The combination of convenience, nutrition, and genuine comfort food appeal makes preserved chili an essential component of any serious long-term food storage system designed to maintain both physical health and family morale during difficult times. Lentil, small but mighty lentils preserved through traditional Amish methods, provide decades of protein-rich nutrition in compact, easy-to-store packages that take up minimal pantry space. These remarkable legumes possess natural characteristics that make them absolutely ideal for long-term storage, whether dried or canned, while cooking much faster than most other beans and providing complete proteins essential for maintaining health during challenging times. When preserved through pressure canning, lentils get partially cooked before being packed in jars with seasoned liquid that enhances their naturally mild flavor while creating the proper preservation environment. The canning process maintains their firm texture while creating shelf-stable meals that can be heated and eaten immediately without additional preparation or cooking time. Alternatively, dried lentils can last indefinitely when stored properly in sealed containers with oxygen absorbers that prevent insect damage and rancidity. Lentils are the overachievers of the legume family, cooking fast, storing forever, and providing complete nutrition, while other beans are still thinking about soaking overnight. Their quick cooking time makes them perfect for busy households that need nutritious meals quickly. Amish cooks particularly appreciate lentils' incredible versatility, using them in hearty soups, substantial stews, and filling casseroles where they readily absorb surrounding flavors while adding both substance and comprehensive nutrition. Their ability to stretch expensive meat dishes helps feed large families economically during lean times when budgets are tight. The protein quality in lentils rivals that found in meat, making them invaluable for maintaining strength and health during extended periods when fresh meat might be unavailable or prohibitively expensive. Their high fiber content aids digestion of heavier winter foods, while their mineral content provides essential nutrients that support overall health and energy levels throughout the most demanding seasons of the year. Canned milk. Creamy, evaporated milk preserved from surplus dairy production ensures Amish families never lack this essential ingredient for baking, cooking, and emergency nutrition during times when fresh milk might not be available. This concentrated milk product removes excess water while retaining all the proteins, fats, and nutrients that make milk so nutritionally valuable, then gets sealed in containers where it remains stable for years. The traditional process involves gently heating fresh milk to evaporate approximately 60% of its water content, concentrating both the flavors and nutrients while creating a product that's much less likely to spoil than regular milk. The concentrated milk gets packed into sterilized containers and sealed while still hot, creating an environment where harmful bacteria cannot survive or multiply. Canned milk is so concentrated, it makes regular milk look like it's slacking off. This preserved milk becomes absolutely essential for winter baking projects when fresh milk might freeze solid in unheated storage areas, or during times when dairy cows are dry and not producing any milk at all. The concentrated nature means it provides more nutrition per volume than fresh milk. The shelf stability ensures consistent availability for puddings, custards, and other desserts that require milk as a primary ingredient, while its rich flavor actually enhances many recipes better than fresh milk can. Many bakers prefer canned milk for certain applications because its concentrated nature creates richer, more satisfying flavors in finished products. During emergencies or extended periods when fresh food supplies might be interrupted, canned milk provides essential nutrition that supports both children and adults. Its protein content helps maintain muscle mass and strength, while its calcium and vitamin content supports bone health and overall nutrition during challenging times when balanced diets might otherwise be difficult to maintain consistently. Vegetable soup. Complete vegetable soup sealed in jars provide Amish families with ready-to-eat comfort food that can last for years while maintaining garden-fresh flavors and comprehensive nutrition. These aren't simple vegetable mixtures floating in broth, but fully developed soups with balanced seasonings, proper textures, and satisfying substance that make them complete meals rather than just side dishes or appetizers. Creating shelf-stable vegetable soup requires careful timing and ingredient selection to ensure all components maintain proper texture and flavor during extended storage periods. Root vegetables like carrots, potatoes, and parsnips get cut to specific sizes that won't become mushy during processing, while leafy greens get added at precise moments to prevent overcooking that would destroy their nutritional value. The seasoning must account for how flavors develop and concentrate during long storage periods, as spices and herbs often become more intense over time. Vegetable soup in jars proves that you can literally bottle summer sunshine and save it for the darkest winter days. What tastes perfectly balanced when fresh might become overpowering after years of storage, so experienced preservers adjust their recipes accordingly. The variety of vegetables ensures comprehensive nutrition while providing the bright flavors and essential nutrients that keep families healthy and satisfied during harsh winter weather when fresh vegetables are impossible to obtain. The liquid base provides essential minerals and vitamins that get extracted from the vegetables during the cooking and preservation process. During severe winter weather, when families might be snowed in for days or weeks, these preserved soups provide convenient, nutritious meals that require only heating to serve. The convenience of having complete meals ready in minutes makes them invaluable during busy seasons when time for cooking is extremely limited, while their extended storage life ensures families always have reliable backup meal options available regardless of circumstances. Dried corn, hominy. Golden kernels of corn preserved through traditional drying and canning methods represent the absolute foundation of Amish food security, providing decades of reliable nutrition that can sustain families through any crisis or challenging period. This versatile grain can be stored whole for grinding into cornmeal when needed, or processed into hominy for direct use in soups and stews, providing the essential carbohydrates and energy that sustain families through long winters. Traditional corn drying involves selecting ears at peak maturity when kernels have reached optimal starch content, then removing kernels carefully and spreading them in thin layers where proper air circulation can remove moisture content to levels that prevent spoilage and insect damage. The drying process must be completed properly to ensure decades of storage life. Alternatively, corn can be processed into hominy by treating it with lime water, which removes the tough outer hulls while making the nutrients more available for proper digestion, then canning the processed kernels for immediate use whenever needed. Corn is so reliable for long-term storage, it makes savings accounts look unstable. This alkali treatment also increases the nutritional value by making certain vitamins more bioavailable. The versatility of preserved corn makes it invaluable as both a staple grain and a recipe ingredient that can adapt to countless different meals and cooking styles. Ground into cornmeal, it becomes the basis for breads, mush, and porridge that provide filling, economical meals that can feed large families even when budgets are extremely tight or other ingredients are unavailable. As hominy, corn adds substantial texture and satisfying bulk to soups and stews while providing the complex carbohydrates that sustain energy levels during hard physical labor that characterizes Amish life throughout the year. The processed kernels have a distinctive flavor and chewy texture that many families prefer to fresh corn. The storage life of properly preserved corn can extend to 30 years or more under ideal conditions, making it one of the most reliable survival foods available. Its high caloric content provides the energy needed for demanding physical work, while its versatility prevents food boredom that can develop during extended periods of eating stored foods. This makes corn preservation an essential skill that every Amish family masters as part of their commitment to self-sufficiency and food security. The Amish show us that food doesn't need to be complicated to last. With simple jars and old-fashioned methods, they've built pantries that outlive storms, seasons, and even generations. These 20 canned foods aren't just about survival, they're about security, comfort, and a way of life that still works today.